Welcome everyone to
Good luck,
season
yeah.
4. This is episode 107 of our careers, so that's pretty awesome. So DPF on Tap is brought to you by Jersey's. Jersey's Pizzeria and Bar is in Glenside. It's at 2609 Mount Carmel Avenue. So a couple of the things that they've been doing recently, and it's going to be close to our hearts, is the past couple Thursdays, and they're always posting this kind of stuff, where they are giving 15% of whatever comes in to to pets that need homes. And then this past was Roslyn's 10 and under baseball team. So like they give back. They've been awesome. And it was a real joy to me this weekend, or it was maybe 2 days ago. Dawn, like my longtime bartender, came here because she is cousins with Amanda and Jared across the street. And I got to serve Dawn after her 13 years of serving me. So that was pretty cool. But check out Jersey's at Glenside. DPF on Tap is brought to you by exclusively Jersey's at Glenside. Before we get into other ones, I just want to kind of talk about what we're going to talk about today, so you can kind of like stay on the line. We're leaving some of the best stuff for last, right? Isn't that what we do, guys? I don't know. I think we just do them in some order. We're going to talk about the Castellanos debacle, World Baseball Classic preview. We're going to talk about pitch counts, Bryce versus Double D, who won. We're going to look at the bets of the Super Bowl and how we did, and hopefully get a sponsor that's, I don't know, some sponsor that we're not going to say their word, because then we're not doing that yet. That's free. We're going to talk about TOS surgery. So like, that's like, we're cool now. So we're like, oh yeah, TOS surgery. So this is thoracic outlet syndrome. We're going to talk a little bit about bullpen insight. Who's the locks, who's the fringe guys, and who do I think is going to make the team? And then Rob's going to round it out with some interesting name the player. So he's going to, he wants to kind of lay out some numbers, and I think we're going to guess who this guy is. Or, one of them's Willie Mays and one of them's Bobby Abreu, and guess which one it is.
That's right.
But I'm like, I think that's going to be a fun segment. So that's what you have in store. And we have a few more friends to talk about.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about Conchi. I got the Ring the Bell. It's baseball season, so we're back with the Ring the Bell. Conchi's got 4 locations. Go stop in and see them. Our friends Andrew and Glenn McNabb, they got a location in Conchi, the tap room in King of Prussia, Puddler's Kitchen, and they have the rec room in Phoenixville. Puddler's Kitchen's in Bridgeport. They got a great happy hour, and they got not only Ring the Bell is a great beer, but they got plenty of great beers. So stop in and see Conchi. It's Philly season, so get your Ring the Bell today and enjoy it.
Yeah, dude, well crafted. I love this one here, this Hop Monger. Hold on, let me do a little crack here for everybody. There we go. Really cool 2 spots. They got Ambler and they got Lansdale, right? They've got 3 ways to save our folks money. Actually, everybody, but everybody follows DPF, right? They got the Mug Club. They got happy hours. Ambler's happy hours weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. Lansdale's is 4 to 6 p.m. And the third way is to become a rewards member. You rack up points and then you redeem them for discounts. Lansdale, Tuesday is burger night. Wednesday is Nerdy Pints trivia. Friday and Saturday live music. And Ambler, tomorrow they have live music. Chris Page and the Revolution from 6 to 9. And on Saturday they have a new beer release, the Flaming Bonito Raspberry Sour. Also live music 5 to 9. So check out our friends at Well Crafted. Cheers.
Awesome. Cool. Real quick, guys, I am also drinking a Well Crafted Hops Water. It is a non-alcoholic beverage that they started providing. And it's a really good option if you're not a drinker or if you're driving that night. Hops Water it's kind of like a soda, but it's got the flavor of hops, along with this one is raspberry mosaic. So they pair up flavors with different kinds of hops. There's a lemon flavor, there's a strawberry flavor. Tonight I'm drinking the raspberry. So if you're not a drinker, don't think you can't go to the breweries and still have a good time. They have plenty of options for you there too.
Awesome.
Good call out. That's awesome.
Yep.
So I wanted to start with this whole debacle that we've been living through recently, starting on the 12th of February. It's called the Nick Castellanos debacle. So just going back in the Wayback Machine a little bit, about 4.5 years ago now, I guess. Remember his deal, right? 5 years, $100 million. The first 7 seasons he played in the league, he was with Detroit, and then Detroit in 2019 traded him to Cincinnati. He didn't have his first All-Star game until 2021. So he debuted in 2013, took him 8 years to become an All-Star. And that was with Cincinnati, his first All-Star appearance. Then he signed the deal with the Phillies, had an okay 2022. 2023 was arguably his best year here with 29 homers, 106 RBIs, and 157 games. And then started to see a little bit of a decline, right? It was well documented on this program, between the 107 episodes that we've had. 2024, he hit 254, 23 homers, 742 OPS. He had a chase rate of 37.8%. 2025, he hit 250, so 4 ticks less. He hit 17 homers, 6 less homers. His OPS was 694, a little over 50 points less, and his chase rate went up to 40.9. He showed a little bit of fielding expertise in his first couple years, but then his fielding started to decline. He couldn't get to those sliding catches anymore. But he was also very adamant that he was not a platoon player. He was pulled. This becomes the incident now that we're all talking about. He's pulled for defensive replacement in Miami, which now I'm calling it the Presidente incident. And then the rift widened between Topper, Double D, and the Brass and Casty. He showed up small last October. And then, in my opinion, Dombrowski made a drastically detrimental public announcement where he says, Nick Castellanos is not going to be on our roster next year. We're going to try and trade him in the offseason. And then it was really weird. He couldn't trade him to anybody. Basically, everyone was waiting for him to get released. Made him worthless in a trade. As expected, on 2/12, he was released, and he signed 2 days later for the league minimum, sticking the Phillies with $19.22 million in salary this year. Reportedly, from club sources in the Padres, they'll use Nick as a DH and a part-time outfielder and an occasional first baseman. And so I just want to throw it out there to you guys. What are your opinion on this whole debacle that happened with?
I mean, this guy was an asshole his whole time, right? He's probably been an asshole his whole life. And it's like I go back to Bull Durham when I'm like having problems with like thinking about like life situations. I go back to Bull Durham. It's cute. You can let fungus grow in your shower shoes when you win 20 in the show. But when your chase rate's 40% and you're being a fucking asshole to your teammates, to your coach, and to, maybe reporters probably, right? This has happened. It just gets tired. But there's that other side. Like the Phillies didn't learn. Bohm's pouty, Bohm's this, and then they're trying to trade him. Well, they just did the same thing. If you devalue something, why is anyone going to value it?
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah, especially when you say you're going to get rid of the guy, regardless if you can trade him or not. Just the teams are just going to wait till he gets released. Why give up any kind of prospect or any draft capital, to the Phillies for a guy like Castellanos, who's going to get cut anyway? I think the biggest thing to me is reading the stories is that the guy never wanted to come here. He didn't want to come here in the first place. When the Phillies put the offer out and it was the highest offer he got, he was imploring his representatives to find another team to match this deal. I don't want to go to Philly. And I think it was more because he didn't want to be the third or fourth superstar on the team behind guys like Harper and Schwarber and Romuto. And he was down the line. He wanted to go somewhere where he was going to be the man. And in the end, I think his antics, he lost the guys in the clubhouse. Like they didn't like him. They didn't defend him. They were wondering why after he got benched to Miami and had the beer, he started 39 straight games after that. Like, where's the accountability? Like, so guys were pissed off that he was getting kind of preferential treatment just because he was an asshole, So rather than piss off Nick, let's start him 39 straight games. So I think it was kind of like along with the Strom thing. It was like, let's just get rid of guys that are problems in the clubhouse and if it's cost us $20 million to get rid of the guy, we got to do it because it's an addition by subtraction.
Yeah, but at least they cut bait. I mean, I will give them credit there where they have to eat that salary because San Diego signed him for the league minimum, and he's going to make his contract no matter what. So we're still paying him, which means that's still against our cap, so that prevents us from doing anything. But there's another problem here, guys, that I don't think anybody's mentioned yet, and it's the fact that Dombrowski went out there talking again, and we're seeing a lot of cracks, man, because I'm going to talk about something in a little bit about Bryson Dombrowski. Dombrowski has fucking put his foot in his mouth at least twice in this offseason. He fucked up trying to get Bichette. Like, I think there is a problem in the front office where it's either Dombrowski is on his way out, and so he just doesn't give a fuck. He's taking a match to the whole place, or he's lost his touch, or he's just out of touch. I don't know. As far as Castellanos goes, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, he was a nothing player at this point anyway. He every time he came to the plate, we were all like, strike out, strike three, low and away. And so if we have to have a new face on that same fucking trend, let's do it, and we'll just have someone else to curse out. So I don't really give a shit that Nick's gone. I'm pissed at the way that the Phillies front office handled all this.
And how about Kyle? Like, Kyle is going to run for office because he was asked directly, did you have a problem with Nick? Did you like Nick? And he's like, well, we had a pretty good year last year, and I'm hoping a better year this year.
Yeah.
He like
And
totally avoided it.
And nobody else on the team can do this. Nobody else in the organization can do that. I'm sure Topper
Nope.
would if he was asked.
Yeah.
He ain't got time for all that
What
shit.
did you guys think? I know my reaction when the Phillies signed Schwarber and Castellanos in that same offseason.
JT.
And
Back in the day.
Back in the day, yeah.
Gotcha.
The original signing. I actually was more excited about Castellanos when they first signed him because I thought he was a more complete hitter than Schwarber. I thought Schwarber was more of a home run hitter and an all or nothing guy, which he's proved to be, although I think he's improved as a hitter in his 4 years here, where Nick has he went the other way. He started out hot here and he kind of, fizzled
Faded.
out,
Yeah.
And in the end, now it's like Schwarber was the clear cut better signing at the time,
Yep.
But I was excited for Nick when we first got him because he was coming off some really good years in
Yes, he
Cincinnati.
He looked like he was trending up.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. And we just never got that guy here other than the 1 year that Mike pointed out,
So if he didn't have his kid, would he have had any endearing qualities? Would anyone have given a fuck?
I mean, he probably got us, 20,000 likes just for me posting the same 3-button picture,
Yeah,
literally 100 times.
This is
Literally
true.
100 times.
Middle-aged women
Love Nick.
Castellanos.
Yeah.
It's kind of.
He had that
kind
big
of creepy.
playoff against the Braves. He had the home run off of
That's
Strider. That one, that year that 2022 year, he had a great playoff run. But yeah, no, Liam was the right, high fiving the kid. Everybody likes to see
Right.
that. And
Yeah.
the kid celebrating and it's an ugly ending to what I thought was going to be a good signing in the beginning.
Did you hear about what this dude did? He sold all of his Philly stuff and took pictures
did.
of it like directly in the locker room,
Yeah.
and sold it all. And he said, well,
What a
I want to
piece of
bring my
shit.
cousins to San Diego to see me. Motherfucker, you make $100 million
Yeah, dude.
selling a
you
couple
got
of
the
your
scratch.
bullshit things. Like, you're full of shit.
Yeah.
Good for him though for just being a liar.
Yeah.
Like, whatever. Good for
Yeah.
you. Good for
Yeah,
you.
he's just
dude.
like, cheers, Kelly.
I don't know. You see the picture of him in San Diego, all clean
Oh, dude.
shaven. He looked like he lost 20 pounds, and
He looks like a dickhead, is what it is. And those fucking stupid in those stupid colors.
New year, new me.
That's what's in.
Yeah. Jag off.
yeah.
New year, new me. Fuck
That's
you.
what. So let's move away from Nick and I don't know. Have you guys been watching the Olympics? I know, I watched the hockey game today,
Yeah.
the women's hockey game, and I don't know about you, but it's gotten me feeling like patriotic and USA, 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 and it's got me fired up for the World Baseball Classic. I know 3 years ago I really enjoyed watching the tournament. Some of the best baseball players in the world going at it for their country. Gives you that sense of pride, support the USA. Unfortunately, 3 years ago, Japan knocked the U.S. off in the final, but we got to see Turner, when he just signed with the Phillies, had a monster World Baseball Classic, so didn't have the same year with the Phillies, but it was fun for those couple weeks that we got to watch them for Team USA. So I want to talk a little bit about this year's tournament and some of the things around it. I mean, while I'm still not happy that the Phillies have as many pitchers going in this tournament, I am excited to watch it, and I'm rooting hard for the USA to do well. So the Baseball Classic this year is going to run from March 5th to March 17th. There are 4 pools that, of 5 teams each, 20 teams in the tournament. Pool A is in San Juan. Pool B is in Houston. Pool C in Tokyo, and Pool D is in Miami. The United States are in Pool B with Brazil, Great Britain, Italy, Mexico are the other teams in the bracket with the United States. Top 2 teams from each bracket will advance to the playoff round or whatever, and you'll have the semifinals and the finals are going to be played in Houston and in Miami for the finals. Right now, it looks like the United States are the favorites to win it. They're plus 225. Japan is a plus 250. The Dominican Republic is plus 450. And then you have Venezuela and Puerto Rico at like plus 800 to plus 1,000. The United States is given about a 29 to 49% chance to win. And the United States are really bolstered by their pitching staff. You have Paul Skeens and you have Skubal to go with, a star-studded team, lineup. What else we got here?
I'm looking forward to them taking Nola deep. You just said that they're going to play Italy.
I don't know. Cool. Yeah, I don't know. I assume you play everybody in your bracket. I haven't looked at the schedule yet, but I'm assuming you must play everybody in your bracket once, I would think, to determine, the top 2 teams that are going to be in it. But I'm trying to look at like the rosters here real quick. So Team USA's roster is pretty loaded. I mean, your catchers are Cal Raleigh and Will Smith. You got Bryce Harper and Goldschmidt are your first baseman. Turang is your second baseman. Bregman, Gunnar Henderson at third. Bobby Witt, Ernie Clement at short. Judge, Carroll got hurt, so he's been replaced. Pete Crow Armstrong, Byron Buxton, and Schwarber are your outfielders in DH. And you're pitching Skubal, Skeens, Logan Webb. I don't know why Kershaw, they're letting that fossil come again.
Disgraceful.
Joe Ryan, Waka, Matthew Boyd, and Nolan McLean from the Mets. Mason Miller, Griffin Jacks, Clay Holmes, Garrett Whitlock, Clevenger, Bednar, and then the Phillies' newest addition, Brad Keller. So they're pretty stocked. It looks like Japan, they're saying Otani's not going to pitch in this, but they're still, they still got Yamamoto and they have Sasaki and they still have a quality pitching staff. And then you have the Dominican. Where did I put their roster on here, didn't I? Oh, I didn't save it. The Dominican's loaded. Dominican's got some really good hitters. Here it is. Vlad, Kendall Marte, Soto, Julio Rodriguez, Tatis, Johan Rojas. They're loaded,
Oh, yeah.
they're loaded. But I think the United States with their pitching looks great.
So
DEF wants to know no Turner.
No Turner.
No.
Sanchez, Sir Anthony's pitching for him.
Yeah,
Right.
Sanchez, Sir Anthony,
Soto.
Carlos Estevez, Gregory Soto. Yeah, there's a lot of ex-Phillies on.
Holy shit!
The Dominican, I heard that the coach and the GM was looking through 23andMe to see if like Rojas could be something else. They're like, he's got to be a little bit Puerto Rican or Venezuelan, right? Like
He's
Exactly.
Israeli. Send him to the
Johan, like
He's
you
Israeli.
can play for Czech Republic,
Exactly right.
Czechia, whatever. And that's the thing, like when these Olympics come around, it's a reminder to me that some other countries exists and like that their name isn't what I think. So I'm like, where the fuck's Yugoslavia at? What happened? They're like, Chris, that's like really 40
Sorry.
years ago.
Right,
Yeah.
They haven't existed in a while.
Yeah, there's some.
Chechia.
Where's the team names?
Czechia.
Yeah. Chechia's in it. Chinese Taipei. I remember them from winning all the Little League World Series.
Little League World
Yes.
Series. Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Israel, the Netherlands. I mean, Pool D in Miami. I think the Dominican Republic looks like it's Dominican Republic, Israel, Netherlands, Nicaragua, and Venezuela. So I think Dominican Republic looks like.
Don't
They got-
sleep on Stubbsy.
Max
Yeah, I mean,
Lazar.
they're
Max
talking
Lazar's
about,
pitching for Israel.
Yeah, they're talking about Canada being like a
Stubbs.
sleeper too. Canada may be a team that, for the first time, gets out of pool play and makes it to the. To
Is
the,
Romano on it? Is Romano close?
I don't know. I didn't look at their roster. Venezuela.
Topper to coach.
Yeah. So yeah, Colombia's a dark horse. They're saying so. It'll be interesting. I think it's supposed to be much more competitive. More teams kind of leveling up. I think 3 years ago it was pretty much you knew who the four horses were, and everybody else was kind of just playing for fifth place at that point. So I think this year is going to be a little different. I think it's going to be more competitive baseball. They do have a mercy rule too in play. I didn't look it up, but there were games that were mercy ruled a few years ago. So it'll be interesting to see if that happens. Then.
You'll know if Italy has a mercy rule because Nola will be in.
That's right.
The only problem I have with this, and there is that sense of pride, so it's a really great point, but you got to be born there. You got to be born there. You got to live there. It can't be this like your grandmom, your uncle, 3 generations down. What the fuck are we doing with that? Come on.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I just
That's
wonder
why I
because
think
baseball's not really I mean, it's in certain countries, like are they going to find 20 baseball players that are born and
From
raised in
Israel?
Israel?
Well,
That's a
dude,
great
I was
question.
just looking at Israel's roster. Harrison Bader, Garrett Stubbs, his brother. Garrett Stubbs has a brother who's
Yeah, I
playing
think he
for
played
them.
last time too.
Yeah, Kevin Youkilis is on this team. Like,
He
please
is?
tell me-
Wait,
please
he's
tell-
Steamer's the coach.
it does say coach. It does say coach.
Oh, all right.
Okay. I was
God,
gonna say,
do you know who their,
he's
do you know
like
their
my-
manager is Brad Osmus. Like, just like why?
I mean, I
why are
guess
they doing
for
this? Max
Israel-
Lazar is Max Lazar a fucking Olympian?
He had
Is he
had
a-
his bris. He had a
And-
bar mitzvah, so he's
And far be
eligible.
it for me to say anyone who plays in the major leagues is a world class athlete. I imagine, but this is stretching it.
Mhm.
This is just stretching it. So I don't know. While I like the idea, I like competition, and I love baseball. Like, we got a fucking season to get ready for. That's kind of my whole problem with this, is that they throw it in right before the season, and
I just
That's my
wanna
biggest
see-
concern. And they were talking about like the team from the Dominican Republic. There were guys that had a hard time. Like Lindor couldn't get insurance for it. There were a few major leaguers that they wouldn't insure their contracts if they were to get injured. So it is a concern. I mean, if Harper goes and gets hurt, or Nola goes and gets hurt, I mean, the major league team suffers when those guys. Who was it? Edwin Diaz. that
Edwin Diaz.
blew
Who's
his
the Edwin
knee
Diaz?
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He blew his knee out and was out for the whole season. So I think it should be a postseason tournament. Like you're
Play
playing in
somewhere
warm
warm.
cities anyway. And you can play in domes and you can play in warm cities and do it after the World Series and play in like November and
idea.
December. But I do like the tournament. I like competition. I like rooting for my country. Like I think it gives you that sense of pride and that sense of patriotism that used to only come around when the Olympics were on, and now you get to do it with baseball.
Well,
The ramp up
fair.
is the problem, right?
Fair.
And you don't want it to be the NBA Cup because that's fucking terrible, right?
So
Do we
dumb.
all agree it's so
Yes.
dumb?
yes.
But like, I'm thinking of soccer, or like hockey. They just stop, right? So like, if this is so important, just stop.
Yeah.
Just stop when they're at the like in the middle, like not towards the tail ends, like really like in June. Just have it in June.
No All-Star game, no
Yeah.
batting,
Yeah.
home run
Yeah.
derby. Just do it then. Take 3 weeks off and do it then.
I like that idea. I do. I like
think
that
it's
idea.
reasonable. And like, and maybe, I don't know how you do that and keep it at 162, but I'm not against every 4 years doing 152.
Yeah,
right?
you don't
Or
want the game being
154.
World Series being played on November 23rd.
No,
I
no.
mean, snowing. And
So one last thing, can we all agree that Topper's full of shit when he says this is really good for Nola? Like he can get the competitive juices flowing. Like what the fuck?
coming
is
off
that?
an injury
'Cause-
year, I don't think it's good.
Because he's also, a professional athlete who has a hard time getting his competitive juices flowing, I guess. I don't know. It's fucking.
It's maddening.
Do you have to be on the outside to fucking see it? Because they believe they're bullshit. Anyway, that's another topic.
Do they, or are they just
Sorry.
towing the line, just the company line?
That
Like,
could be it too.
I mean, you got this guy for another 6 seasons.
Yeah. They're like, we can't devalue him in 6 seasons in, right, Dave?
True.
Dave's like,
Dave would be like, he ate too much pasta when he was there, and he was
Yeah.
very slow.
That's a Nola.
Yeah.
That's so
So I'm going to talk a little bit about something, but I want to kind of talk about shirts and Mike, a chance for you. So we've been doing this like t-shirt exchange. It's basically you send us one of yours, we'll wear it. You show me yours, I'll show you mine, and we'll put it on the podcast. So this one's I Love Snacks. It's made by Unique Snacks. So if you're in Reading or that area, you already know this. Like being in Philly, we didn't know this. We know like Hers and Rolled Gold and all of those. I'm going to tell you what. So Bridget, thank you for sending the shirt and like some of the pretzels over. She said, Chris, which one's your favorite? So these sourdough rings go right around the beer bottle.
That's
And I was
fantastic.
like, well, obviously I'm going to go with this one, and I was like, yeah, you can't, because then you're just like, I'm drinking the beer and I'm smelling pretzels, so it really has been awesome. So Unique Snacks in Reading, they do deliver. They were awesome. Thank you for the shirt and thank you for the sourdough pretzels.
Yeah, I'll tell you, this one here is from Perkiomen Valley Brewing. They have some really crazy, unique beers. So Kelly and Tom are the owners, and they go out into the woods and they forage. And this week, actually, that we're in right now, today is Thursday. So it started yesterday. It'll go all the way through Sunday. All 8 of their taps are all foraged beers that they've made this year. They have shag bark. So they go in and they take bark off of hickory trees, they toast it, and they put it in with their brew. They have dandelion ale. They have all these different cool beers, and that's going on right now. And if you haven't been to PVB, it's very sensory unique. They have their sons have autism, and they're very outspoken advocates for them. Their sons do all their bottling, canning, and kegging. And Kelly and Tom are great people. So a PVB shout out, and they always have great food trucks. Wrap and Roll the other night was fantastic. So go check out PVB. It's a small brewery in the small old bank in the smallest town in Montco and Green Lane. So check it out.
So PVB is awesome. I love the foraging idea. I love that they're from Green Lane and not from Kensington. Imagine what would be in the beers there.
That would be weird.
Yeah, not good. So what if I told you a starting pitcher threw 58 pitches?
His name would be Greg Maddox.
58, just generally, like, what would you think?
Kapler took him out and brought in a lefty who gave up a home run, and we lost on opening day.
Yeah. So there's I want to set the kind of picture here. This is 1944. So this is like deep into the war. The players a lot of them were in the military. It was thinned out, but there were still some good players that for whatever reason did not make it into the military. Some reasonable reason, right? So in 1944, Red Barrett pitched 58 pitch complete game, 2-0 win. So 9 innings, not a shortened game. It was a complete game. It was no like, I'm just thinking back, like we've lived this life of no pitch counts and things like that. So, there's the other part that, managers back then, they expected you. There wasn't the idea of a bullpen or a closer. Really, your closer was like your best pitcher that came out the day after he just threw 130 pitches, right? But so if you look at 58 pitches, that's 6.4 pitches per inning. So modern starters are going to throw in between 15 to 20 per inning, generally, on average. A 58 pitch outing by a starter, now that could be 3-4 innings.
4 innings.
Yeah, maybe.
And, there's a lot of people taking pitches, right? So, so that's part of it. So these guys were clearly, he was throwing the ball over the plate.
Right.
They were swinging early. And, was it a getaway day? I don't know that, right? But it was on a 20-game road streak. So I think, it wasn't. He only gave up 2 hits, walked no batters, weak contact on, early counts. So the defense was constantly in play instead of like strikeout hunting. I think this is important because nowadays, how many times that guy's out there and they're like, the guy, there's a 1-2 count and it's like, all right, then it goes 2-2. Then like the fielders are a little bit sitting back. I think there's a different expectation when there's these contact pitchers that are able to do this and the fielders play more into it. So, and again, batters weren't grinding out 10, 12, 13 pitch at bats. They were kind of, doing what they needed to do. And if the ball's over, they were swinging at it and putting it in play, right? Not fouling it off. Not taking pitches, and maybe this would have been different. So, I think that this is one of the records that will never be broken. 58 pitch complete game. Pitch counts, analytics, hitters take more pitches now. All of these kind of things. Bullpen usage, it's mandatory. It's not if you get a complete game, it's absurd, or it's like even a guy's getting a no-hitter. They're like, I don't know, we might have to take him out with 2 outs in the 9th because he's at 100 pitches. I think a hyper-efficient game in this era would still be more than the Maddox-esque 70-80 pitch complete game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I just looked it up. His July 22nd, 1997, 76 pitch complete game.
Yeah, so I think that 58 pitch is just not going to happen because, like, the modern approach alone to the game with, like, just swinging for the fences, there's a lot of foul balls, would just not do it. So I want to leave this with a question for you. So 2 scenarios. One is a guy threw 120 pitches. He has 15 strikeouts. The game was 2 hours and 50 minutes, and he won 2-0. So that's option A. 15 strikeouts, 9 innings, complete game, 100-plus pitches. Or 58 pitches, complete game, no walks, no strikeouts, 2 hits, also won 2-0. That's option B.
I like action. I like the ball being put in play. I like fielders making plays. I like the game of baseball being played, not the strikeout walk game that we see a lot of times in today's game. I want to see the ball put in play. And it puts pressure on the defense. It keeps the defense on their toes. It makes it's baseball. That's baseball. Not I'm bigger and stronger than you and I'm just going to throw the ball by you, and strike out 15 guys. I mean, I want the ball in play. I want to see the fielders make plays, and the game played.
Yeah, I'd love to have been in the stands with a beer and a hot dog watching that 58 pitch game 100%.
It's so crazy.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was, is like, if I if I pay to see a game and you have the option of, I mean, they're both dominating performances, but to see something like a 58 pitch outing, like you won't even finish well, you guys would, but like how many beers could you drink during a 58 fucking pitch game, you know? And so it's just, but that's something that you want to see. You want to say, I was there for that. You want to say you were there for the other game at the same time.
Yeah.
But that game, like, that's fucking crazy how fucking masterful that is.
I mean, Rob, you got a really good point. The 999 would be challenging at 58 pitches.
Very challenging.
It'd be a 4-4-4.
Right? Exactly. All right, guys.
I was at a game at the Vet, Maddox and Schilling, and I don't think either one of them threw more than 90 pitches, and they both went. It was a 2-1 game, and it was one of the most entertaining games I was ever at because the ball, neither guy was blowing guys away. They were pitching. They were making their pitches, hitting their spots. Ball was getting put in play, and both teams were playing good defense. It was a 2-1 game. You go, oh, that's pretty boring, but it wasn't. Like the ball was in play. Both pitchers pitched phenomenal games. They were both probably around 85 to 90 pitches, and the game was like less. It was like 2 hours. We were at it back in the day where games were 3.5 hours long. So I just enjoy good pitching, and not throwing, and the ball being put in play because that's when shit happens. That's when the action happens, when the ball is put in play.
Yeah, pitcher's the only guy on the field who can really dominate a game. I mean, you can have a guy but he's got to wait. If a guy like Schwarber hits 4 home runs in a game, but you got to wait. The pitcher goes out there, he can dominate every batter, and it's when you see that, there's nothing like it.
Yep.
Whether you appreciate, whether you're a huge baseball fan or not, like I think watching a dominating pitching performance is like it's up
special.
There. Yeah, that's what I mean.
It's special. And Butcher, who I'm going to talk about, and Mike, so do I. Chris, I think you know his name. So I'm just going to talk about like how much things have changed and like a personal experience with no pitch count and just a hard ass coach. So Textile, this is 93, the year before you came there, Mike. Craig Gribben down in Florida. It's his first outing. It's his first outing in college. We're playing, where did Wayne Gomes go? Rice?
Yes.
So we're playing Rice and getting fucking destroyed. And Gribben started the game. So Craig Gribben started. I'm charting the pitches, and it was kind of cool at first. I was like, oh, we didn't really chart pitches in high school. Like Rob did sometimes, but like he would just throw dicks and have like this dude gave up a bomb. Like if this was at home,
when Chris was pitching, I was just like, dickhead.
Yeah.
Dickhead. Throw the ball over the plate, dick.
Yeah.
Chris was pretty good. I'll tell you. He was good.
So Craig, he threw, I don't know the exact number, it exaggerates each year, but it was plus 100 pitches through 4 innings. Our fucking hard ass coach just left him out there, just left him out there to die. And I just was like, what the fuck did I get myself into with this dude? And then he told me to go warm up, and I'm like, fuck, man. I was like, it's a 9-inning game. I was like, these motherfuckers are tired out already. So at least I'm going to throw fucking 50 miles an hour, and that's the fastball, and hopefully they swing twice and I get 2 strikes on one swing.
You had the benefit of coming in with them exhausted.
Yes, but it's funny, that was normal. It wasn't even thought of back then. It was hey, you pitched yesterday, can you pitch today? What fucking teenager is going to say no?
Exactly.
What's the most pitches you think you ever threw in a game? I know mine. And it was a high school game.
I would say it was under 100.
I went 138 in a.
I was just gonna say it got to be 130 something.
Wow.
138. We played. It was against Judge.
A 7-inning game.
7-inning game. 15-14.
There you go.
My defense was terrible.
Yeah.
I think I gave up 3 earned runs in 7 innings, and I lost 15-14.
Bunch of Ks. Bunch of strikeouts, I would imagine.
No. I wasn't a big strikeout guy.
Just a lot of base runners, huh?
A lot of base runners, a lot of errors.
Was every pitch right-handed?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I didn't wipe my ass for a month.
Yeah.
But,
Right.
but you
Oh
know what?
my
That was
God.
probably on a Monday, and I probably pitched again Wednesday. You know,
Yeah.
I bet you
Exactly.
did.
that's just the
Exactly.
way it was.
And then in club on Tuesday.
Yeah, I pitched for Loudy one night. You know.
Yeah, probably. We probably played that night.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So I want to move on. Let's talk about Bryce and Dombrowski. Now, the way that I pitched this topic was that it was Bryce versus Dombrowski, and that everybody had to pick a side. But I just want to. Everybody's read it. Everybody's seen it. The comments that Dombrowski made. You know, he was asked about something, and he this is back in what, October.
October. Yep.
Right
He's
after
like,
the season ended, yeah.
Bryce is still a quality player. He's still an all-star caliber player. He didn't have an elite season like he's had in the past, and I guess we'll only find out if he becomes elite where he continues to be good. And then he proceeds to compare him to Freddie Freeman, who was once elite, and now he's a very good ball player. I don't think that's an insult, comparing him to Freddie Freeman. So anyway, and then he goes on after that, and then he says, can he rise to that level again, to that next level? You know, I don't really know that answer. And Bryce is the one who's going to dictate that. And then he says, like, oh, I've seen guys, you know, he's seen elite guys where they level off at his age. And then he's seen them where they take off. And Bryce is ultimately in charge of that. I don't think that was that bad. And Bryce, for some reason, in December, he goes and posts the video of himself in the batting cage, not elite. Right? He's got the shirt on, not elite. But it doesn't bother him, right? It didn't bother him at all. He just wears this shirt, taunting him and extending the story even longer. And then he comes into fucking spring training and he goes on a podcast and he's like, you know, oh, I don't know anything about being elite. I'm not elite, remember? And then he has this whole conversation about how Dombrowski didn't keep it in-house. And when he got to Philly, they told him, we like to keep everything in house. That stuff doesn't motivate me. It doesn't need to be like, I'm sorry, guys, but this sounds, Dombrowski has been in the game a long time. And I know earlier we had said it seems like it's taken on water. The ship is taken on water. But I also think that Bryce handled this so poorly. And I heard someone say it, I think it was on the radio or something, where Bryce has had people tell him he's the greatest his entire fucking life, telling him how good he is. And Dombrowski says publicly, I don't know if he's elite. He didn't have an elite season, and he'll tell you that. Will he become elite again? That remains to be seen. And for whatever reason, Bryce is so mad, but he still says it doesn't need to be a story. Ultimately, Bryce is the one who has to go out and play, right? Bryce is the one who has to go perform. He has to prove Dombrowski wrong. He has to prove himself right. So I'm going to take Bryce's side here because I want to see him go out and have that monster season, because that means that the Phillies are going to be fucking right back where they need to be. But at the same time, Bryce, grow the fuck up. Like, these are just words. Like, don't let this fucking become a story, which is exactly what you did. So where do you guys fall on this with the whole fucking not elite shit, Chris?
Bryce is full of shit. And why I mean this is he said, you know, the attaboy, and then like he's staring a hole through the sky. Oh, the words, that doesn't motivate me. Words don't motivate me. He's full of shit. That does motivate him, maybe when it's another player. You know, do I think that Dombrowski uses Bryce as Dombrowski's scapegoat? Well, yeah, if he's not great, how can we be?
That's a good point.
You know, and I think if in that quote, if he said, or is he just going to be great? I think that would have been a whole different thing.
Correct.
He said he's just, or is he just going to be good?
Good.
You know, like I think that's the word that probably bothered him, and it would bother me as well. Ultimately, you know, I think Bryce is a prima donna, and we know that, right? But like, who's running the ship here, right? Because we're always like, can someone come in? Well, I don't know. We got to ask Bryce, and I guess we'll ask Dave too.
So I wrote down, this might be an unpopular take,
Excuse
but
me.
I'm taking Dombrowski's side. I think he's, in this case, a genius motivator for the point you just made, Chris. I think it's bullshit. Bryce, in that whole interview you were talking about, Rob, says, I don't know where those T-shirts came from. Someone made it for me, so I wore it. Bull fucking shit, dude.
And he just
You
happened to be
said,
making a
"Make me
TikTok.
that T-shirt, and
Yes.
I'm gonna wear that in the cage, and we're gonna post it on wherever."
His wife's on the cricket that night.
So I
Without
think
a doubt.
he's got a chip now, and Dombrowski put it right there.
But not a championship.
No, but if he loses
That was the year after he left.
we might
Yeah.
get the ring, right? So
I think Bryce is a world-class panderer, and he is pandering to the fans to say, hey, this guy is talking shit on me, and I don't think Dombrowski should have said it, but I do think it's going to be a motivator to Bryce. But I was looking at some of Bryce's numbers. I mean, he didn't have a fucking terrible year. 261, 27 homers. And I even went to say, well, all right, maybe his numbers were a little hollow. Maybe there wasn't some clutch numbers in there. But I mean, Baseball Reference has a thing, and it's all subjective, and I'll put that out there to begin with. But they have kind of leverage situations, and they rank them high, medium, low. And his numbers in high leverage situations was 322 batting average, 589 slugging, and over 1,000 OPS in high leverage.
What year was that?
This was last year, my man. And then medium, he falls off, 247, 771 OPS, and in low, 249, 838 OPS. So in whatever they use as their high leverage situations, he performed. He was worse in situations where they had big leads or were down big or whatever, where the game wasn't in the balance. When the game was in the balance, his numbers were really, really good. So I think it's there's perception, there's reality, and there's somewhere in between. And I don't think Bryce Harper was the Bryce Harper we all want him to be last year. I don't think he was the worst version of himself, and I definitely think he can still be better. And if Dombrowski's words and criticism is the motivating factor to make him better, we all talked about last year, it looked like he wasn't a happy baseball player.
Yeah.
He wasn't having fun playing baseball. Whether he hit
Castellanos.
maybe you never know. You don't know what was going on.
He's mad at Nick.
I mean, I like Harper, but we need more out of him. We need him to be the MVP type Harper. We need a 287, 32 home runs, 100 RBIs. We need that guy.
He needs to be a top 10 player.
He does.
Remember last year when he got that fucking prison tattoo as a fanatic?
Yep.
I'm like, Jesus Christ, he had tetanus, guys, the whole last season. That's why he got the blood transfusion.
That's right. His lockjaw just cleared out.
Yeah.
That's why it took him a month to respond.
Yeah.
He had lockjaw.
Yeah. He had to get the
that's-
tetanus shot.
My biggest problem with his
point.
interview is talking about keeping shit in house is Bryce still isn't keeping shit in house because now
Correct.
he's talking about the four hitters and the lack of protection that the four spot is you're running your mouth too, bro. You can't have it one way and not the other.
It's almost like he's doing it on purpose now.
Do the Netherlands have a baseball team in the World Baseball Classic?
They do.
Because all right, we need to sign one of those Dutch players to stick their finger in the dike so no more water leaks out of this shit.
There you
All
go.
right, so go ahead and pull one of those players.
So
Garrett
First of
Van
all-
Stubbs.
first of all, I need some unique pretzels because they look like they're freaking awesome, Chris.
They're so good. I'm like, I want to sign off because I'm over here chomping. I'm like, can you guys hear it? I hope we're not going to fucking play this
No,
back.
I
They're
can't.
like, this
I
fucking
can't hear
asshole's
it.
chomping all day.
I can't hear it, man.
They're so good.
So, hey, first of all, congratulations to your Seahawks, Chris. Amazing run and amazing game. But we did a really fun thing. Dugan scared up a prop sheet, and I'm just going to go through and for any of those services who will remain nameless, I think you really want to sign me up personally, and you'll see why in a minute as a sponsor. So we had 20, I believe, bets here, and I'm going to run through them, and I'm going to tell you exactly who had the best score and exactly who had the worst score. So remember, we had a guest that day, so we had Jay as a chooser as well. So we all picked over on the national anthem, 119.5 seconds. It went under. Every single one of us lost. So that was a 0 for all of us. Coin toss is either heads or tails. So it came up heads. So Chris was the only one that picked heads. So Chris took the 1-0 lead very early in the game here. The third one we picked was the game winner. Everybody but Jay picked the Seahawks. So everybody is now current. Actually, Chris had 2 right after the third one, and everybody else had 1 except for Jay. He had 0. The game total, so the over was 45.5. Dugan and Butcha and Jay all had the under. Chris and I took the over. The first offensive play, either a run or a pass. Everybody took run except me, and y'all won. So you're starting to see the pattern now. It was not a pass, so I lost that one. The team to score first, everyone said the Seahawks. We all got that correct. The next one was passing yards for May, 221.5. The only one that took the over was Butcher. He got that right. Everybody else took the under. We took the loss on that one. Darnold passing yards, over under 228.5. Chris and Jay took the under. You guys hit. Everybody else took the over. We lost. Diggs receiving yards, 43.5. Dugan and Butcher took the under. You guys got it. Chris, myself, and Jay lost. Stevenson rushing yards, 50, over under 50.5. Dugan said under, and so did Butcher. You guys got it right. The rest of us got it wrong. Walker rushing at 75.5. Chris, me, and Butcher got those. JSN receiving yards, 94.5. Chris took the under, and so did Jay. They got those correct. Cup receiving yards, Chris and I took the over, and Jay. And Jay. So all 3 of us got those. The longest touchdown, everybody picked the Seahawks, and that was correct. The longest field goal, I was the only one that got that right. The only reason I won that's because the Patriots didn't kick a field goal. The last touchdown was scored by the Patriots. Chris and Jay got those correct. The total sacks went over 4.5, and that was Dugan, Butcher, and Jay. Chris and I lost that one. Total turnovers at 2.5. Chris took the over, so did Butcher and Jay. Dugan and I lost that one. And then the Gatorade bath was yellow, so any other color. The other option was clear water or orange. So Dugan and Chris won that one. And Super Bowl MVP, it was either quarterback or any other, and Dugan, Butcher, and Jay got that. So in the end, we had a tie for the best. 12 out of 20 went to Chris and Butcher. 10 out of 20 went to Jay and Dugan. And I brought up the rear. I got 6 right. So for any of those services that will remain nameless, you want to reach out. It's
Don't reach out to Mike. Actually, reach out to Mike. You'll make more money.
Exactly. drunkphilsfans@gmail.com. Email us, and we'll talk.
There you go.
So rolling right into my next topic, because I had a really random thought the other day, and I thought, hey, why don't we update the Class A betting scandal right after we do the Super Bowl bets? I thought that was fucking funny. And apparently Chris agreed because he put it on the agenda. So remember this Class A, the original indictment, if you don't remember, he's allegedly indicted for throwing pitches and telling folks, gamblers, that he's going to throw these pitches so that they can bet on them and make money off of it. So original indictment had 9 pitches listed for investigation, split between the 2023 and the 2025 season. So 2 more pitches were added that occurred in the 2024 season, including one in the 9th inning of Game 1 of the American League Divisional Series on October 5th. The current total pitch count in question is 15 between all 3 of those seasons, 2023, 24, and 25. There's also 3 other instances where Class A was going to fudge pitches for gamblers, but never got in the game. So all in all, it's alleged that Class A's co-conspirators won in excess of $450,000 betting on these pitches. This is what's wild, right? So the code words that they used in these text messages are crazy. So Class A would text things like, "I'll throw a rock at the first rooster in today's fight." And that meant bet on the first batter. Or chicken number 3, after I kill the first 2, play the third. If I can't kill the first 2, don't play the third.
Yo, this
Like-
motherfucker's like when the United States hired the Indians to do the fucking Ojibwe sayings and like the
Fucking
fucking
wind
smoke
talkers, yeah.
signals so
Yeah.
that
Dude.
like, the fucking Germans wouldn't know.
This
The
is
tea
wild,
will be
man.
ready in a backyard silent.
Yes, exactly. Like,
I will kill
I'm
2
gonna-
chickens
dude.
on the Mets
Yeah.
before I kill the third. I will not kill the third Met chicken.
it's crazy.
Fuck.
Think about that for a second. I'll throw
And
a
they-
rock at the first.
And these guys are
rooster.
walking around with $400,000, right?
450 over that.
Jesus,
And so
fucking Christ.
he has a teammate that he apparently talked into doing this as well, and that gentleman has distanced himself. Now he wants a split trial. They were going to have a trial together. He wants a split trial because he's now alleging that Class A set this whole thing up, and he's kind of dropping dime on Class A. So trial set for May 4th in Brooklyn, and we'll see how it turns out. But I just wanted to update everybody. This is just wild.
Yeah, I can already tell you it's going to be not guilty. Trials in Brooklyn, they're going to be like, big deal.
But can you
Yankees
imagine
aside.
that?
Who cares about Roosters?
I think he was only getting 10% of their winnings too, so like 45 grand.
45 grand. Yeah.
When he's making $5-6 million a season, you're gonna throw that shit away for 45.
How
grand?
much does he make per pitch? I'd love to know how much he made, because he only throws what, I don't know, 1,000 pitches a season,
Right?
500. Like,
Less
how
than
much
that.
did he make per pitch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's for 45 grand. Like, it's
And
just
for
nuts.
3 years, we were talking about the Phillies trading for this guy.
Yeah,
There we were.
Well, I'm waiting for the cockfighting allegations because he's in that. He's
It's got to
doing-
be, right?
Yeah, exactly. Why else? They're like, we need to come up with some code words, and he's like, well, I know what to say.
Yeah. hold
I'm
on
going
a
to
second.
kill chickens. It's like, why would
That's
you
it.
even say that? I don't know.
Maybe we got lucky. I posted that video today of Bo Bichette. It makes fucking Alec Boehm look like fucking Brooks Robinson in the fucking 70 World Series.
Seriously.
I'm like, Jesus Christ, he has no fucking idea what he's
It
doing.
looks
out
like his
there.
glove was on the wrong hand.
And like brand new, like his dad just bought it at the Sporting Goods, and it's like not broken in.
And he didn't want to pay the $25 to get it steamed.
Yeah,
You got to run over that with the car a few times, the
Jesus
rubber band
Christ.
around it.
Yep.
Put it in the microwave.
Some
You gotta-
monk seed oil.
Come on, man.
yeah.
You got to, you got to do all that. So, spring training's upon us, fellas, and one of the big stories about spring training is Zach Wheeler and him coming back from surgery, and we're getting some great news out of there. He's throwing from 120 feet. Hasn't been on a rubber yet, but that's okay. We're getting there. They're talking about maybe a late April or May return for him. So it got me thinking about the surgery that he had and how prevalent is that in baseball? How many guys have had it? What has been their return like when they come back after having this surgery? So for those of you that don't know, it's thoracic outlet syndrome. And that surgery often involves removing the first rib or the scalene muscle to decompress the brachiopalatus nerve bundle. So we did hear
Easy
the
for you to
story
say.
that Wheeler kept the rib. He's got it in a box in his closet or something like that. So he had that that surgery. So there's 3 types of this syndrome. The neurogenic is the most common. It's involved in nerve compression. It causes tingling, numbness, and loss of velocity. The venomous, which involves blood clots or vessel compression, that's what Wheeler had. And then the arterial, which is the rarest form involving your arteries. That's the rarest form. So I was looking back to see like how many guys have had this. And there's a list of about 8 guys, but I'm just going to highlight a few of them and the most notable ones and guys that you're probably going to have heard of. So Chris Young, he had the neurogenic. And after he had the surgery, he won AL Comeback Player of the Year in 2014 after pitching 165 innings.
Oh.
Josh Beckett had the same, that neurogenic. He pitched a no-hitter in 2014 after returning. Matt Harvey had the neurogenic. He returned but struggled with subsequent injuries and velocity loss. Steven Strasburg, he had the neurogenic. He suffered reoccurrences of symptoms and struggled to maintain a consistent workload. Kenny Rogers is the one guy that I found that had the same type, the venomous, that Wheeler had, and he played for 7 more seasons and made multiple World Series appearances. So statistics say that approximately 76 to 79% of pitchers return to normal, back to the velocity, back to what they had. The fastball velocity and the strikeout ratio return to what they were pre-injury. Although there is data that suggests ERAs go up. So I don't know if you become more hittable, less movement. I'm not sure, but ERAs rise on these guys that have come back from the surgery. Most pitchers that come back from the surgeries, they're able to pitch for another 3+ seasons. Wheeler only has 2 years left on his contract, so this year might be it for him because we're probably looking at the lockout for next year. So hopefully, he comes back at the level that he was. But then comparison to guys who haven't had the surgery, he says like the post-surgery performance is kind of like just an age decline. You kind of decline as if you were just getting an older pitcher. It doesn't accelerate the decline at all. So I think they're, I don't know if any of these guys that I mentioned, as far as these pitchers, are the quality of a pitcher that Zach Wheeler is. So their level where they left at before surgery and Wheeler's is not the same. Because I think Wheeler is really a key to the Phillies season. I mean, he's the difference between a really good rotation and an excellent rotation for the Phillies, and can really determine how deep this team can make a run this year. So fingers crossed that he's one of the 80% that can come back and be the same guy right out of the chute. And it doesn't take him time to ramp back up to being Zach Wheeler again, or that he doesn't get back to that level. So,
Chris, I want to know why. Are you prejudiced against Polish people, or could you just not say his name, Mike Foltynewicz? You didn't mention him, did you?
No, I did not.
He's the one that got thought in my head.
I could have called him Mike Walker. We wouldn't have known the difference.
Yeah. Just like, I mean, he was a Brave, so I appreciate that.
Yeah,
true that.
He was not on my list, Chris.
Oh, really?
I have a bunch of guys: Matt Harvey, Chris Archer, Phil.
Maybe I'm wrong. I thought he did have it.
Jaime Garcia.
Oh.
Tyson Ross, Dylan G, Kyle Zimmer, Cole Henry, Nick Nastrini, Antonio Kelly.
I think that jerk off Jeff McNeil had this done.
Really?
I think so. It wasn't like
A non-pitcher.
yeah, and he's the only one that was a non-pitcher because I remember them saying that, and I was like, wow, like that's really odd, right? Fuck him though.
And isn't he a second baseman? That's like the shortest throw you can make on the field.
Well, and he can't even make that.
Fucking little bitch. He's like, my shoulder.
Yeah.
Now
Look at that.
he's in Oakland now, right?
Reese Hoskins
Sacramento.
slid too hard. Oh.
That's right. Yeah, the one name you mentioned was Josh Beckett, and I remember Josh Beckett. I thought he was a little better than this. He only had 120-win season. He had a 17-win season, but those were if he had the surgery in 2014. This is 8 years after he was decent.
He had the surgery in 2013.
Yeah, so I mean, whether it was before the season, he was 0-5 in 2013, and then in 2014 he was 6-6. So I mean, he did have a 2.88 ERA that year, but like none of those pitchers are fucking Chris Wheeler. But when I heard Josh Beckett, I was like, oh, Josh Beckett. Like the name rang a bell, and I remember him pitching well for a couple teams. He pitched well for Miami, and he pitched well for Boston.
Yeah.
He won 2 World Series. So I mean, like. I don't know anything about this surgery other than Wheeler has a rib out now, and I don't know what he's doing. Yeah, I don't know what he's doing to recover. Exactly. Maybe he wants to be buried with it. I don't know.
So when you watch this or listen to this later, what I want people to comment back or send us a DM is who's most likely to keep the bone in their closet and who's the most likely to be holding their bone during this podcast. Rob had yeah.
I didn't say anything.
Not the whole time.
Yeah. All right,
Only
guys.
one of us has a microphone like right up to their face the whole time.
Oh, I love that.
That's right. All right, guys. I have something. I thought this would be a little fun. This is something that I wrote at some point in the past about a Phillies player. And I'm going to read it. I'm going to leave the name out, obviously, and I want to give you guys a chance to maybe name the player. All right, so it starts out like he has in years past. Player X is swinging at bad pitches, really bad pitches, and watching good ones go by. MLB scouts and pitchers are a wise bunch. They see a guy unable to connect on a breaking ball, they throw him breaking balls. And he's so surprised to get a fastball down the middle, it's snapping a Rawlings before he even knows it. So this sounds familiar, though, does it not, guys? Does this
Could be a lot. It could be a lot of guys.
This is Ryan Howard.
It is Ryan Howard, you motherfucker.
Yeah, I remember when you wrote it, and I was like, I remember when you wrote it, Rob.
That's
yeah,
right.
because like you're like, hey, what jersey was I wearing when we reconnected at Citizens Bank Park? I was like, oh,
This
it was like
motherfucker-
a
I didn't even say jersey.
1977 Mike Schmidt, the green jersey.
It's right back here.
Yeah, that one.
I didn't even ask him that. I just said, what year was it? And he said, well, it was back. This is probably.
I fucking Rain Manned him.
And then he
I was like,
texted-
yeah,
and then he texted me
definitely.
later, and he's like, I even remember what you were wearing. And I'm like, fuck.
Then I said, let's not make this weird. I
Right,
did say that.
And then you did say you were
I
wearing
did
a
say,
green
let's
jersey.
not make it weird.
But you know, this is the blog. This is the podcast. We got to make it weird. So I wrote this on our blog, April 9th, 2013. So it was right at the beginning of the year, coming off of 2012. And when I read this, because I went into the Wayback Machine, because we don't have the blog anymore. So I went into the Wayback Machine to try to find some of my old articles. And when I read this is a couple months ago, and I saved it. I put it in my notes app in my phone. I was like, holy shit. What I just read and what I wrote about Ryan fucking Howard 12, 13 years ago applies to so many of the players that are on this team this year.
Oh, yeah.
Bryce Harper and Nick Castellanos and fucking JT and like all these guys who just swing at bad pitches. Now, I understand baseball is baseball and guys are always going to swing at bad pitches, but when it always comes back to this and it always comes back to like, okay, here's a team that fucking rose, like the 2022 Phillies, went to the World Series. 22, right? And went to the World Series or 23,
Yeah.
22, and then 23 they came down, and then 20. Teams on the decline, you see their fucking flaws so clearly, and it's really just I was just stunned that I fucking wrote this that long ago about somebody else when I'm watching a game with fucking Harper chasing and fucking Castellanos chasing. It's the same fucking old story.
I remember what you were wearing when you wrote that.
You probably do. I got the undershirt on right now, Chris. All right, so that was that. Chris spoiled it. We didn't get a chance to really guess or say anything else. No, okay. So, guys, I'm going to throw some numbers at you. This is a player, 7-time All-Star, 1 World Series, 3-time Silver Slugger, won a batting title. He also only hit 228 in the postseason in his career. But his career numbers bore 43.7. He played over 2,000 games. He had almost 10,000 plate appearances, scored over 1,100 runs, 2,700 hits, 219 home runs. So total bases 4,083, slugging percentage 451, OBP 344, OPS 795. Like, this is a guy who had a really good career, right? This is by all fucking accounts, like this career looks like it's pretty fucking good. Approached 27, it was getting close to 3,000 hits, which I think is like the magic number. And this guy is not in the Hall of Fame while we're watching a whole the Cats coming in. While we're watching a lot of players get into the Hall of Fame, I think, and we've talked about the Hall of Very Good. Yeah, Kat's here. She's going to jump up. You're going to see the Cobra in a second. So any guesses who this might be, guys?
Is it a Philly?
It's not a Philly.
Donnie Ballgame.
No, but probably similar numbers to Donnie Ballgame.
Can we get an era that he played in?
Yes. And okay, what I will tell you is that the reason I even happened to cross his page and his stats is because they had said something on the radio and somebody said who played third base for the 73 Pirates, and somebody guessed Bill Madlock, which was incorrect. It was another player.
So Pirates.
Third so base. The Pirates 1970s. That wasn't the only team he played for.
Wow. Yeah, I'm like thinking of the set, like Bobby Grich.
Wait, I'm sorry. He was a former Philly.
He did play for the Phillies.
He played for the Phillies in 1984. He played 28 games for the Phillies.
Bill Robinson?
Nah. He's an outfielder. I think
it had nothing to do with third base.
He wore
That's
numbers,
where it was.
He wore number 0. Yeah. See, I threw you.
Oh, Al Oliver.
Yes,
Al
Oliver. And I could have sworn that Al Oliver was a Hall of Famer. And just in my head, I was like, oh, Al Oliver, he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
But then I look at his numbers and I'm like, how is he not a Hall of Famer compared to guys like, and then I pulled it up, like Alan Trammell has similar numbers, few more home runs. Steve Garvey, Garrett Anderson. Like, Garvey isn't a Hall of Famer, Garrett Anderson isn't, but Alan Trammell is. And then you got guys, Jeff Kent.
Trammell's a shortstop, though. Like,
correct.
So.
And that's I understand that part of it. Yeah. But as for just going on the numbers, he did win a World Series with the Pirates, I believe, in the 70s at one point. It was just something that struck me because if he played today, if his career just wrapped up, this guy's going to the Hall of Fame.
You know who's the one guy that if you look at his numbers, and I always see the comparison to him against the modern guys, and this guy's not even talked about as being one of the best players. But if you compare Brian Giles, his number, to Juan Soto and Bryce Harper and some of the modern guys that are considered to be some of the best players, Brian Giles' numbers are right fucking there.
It's actually weird.
It's weird.
It's actually weird. I saw something on some website, social media or something, comparing him to somebody else.
So I think Al Oliver's problem was this, and I'm like thinking back, like this dude played for so many teams, and I just looked up the numbers. So Pittsburgh for 10 years, his WAR was 27.3. Mm-hmm. Texas for 4, his WAR was 11.7. And then Montreal, he had a 6.7. And then after that, it's horrendous.
He plummets,
Like,
correct.
and it's not just a year. This dude played 4 years where he was between minus 0.3 and minus 1.1.
Wow.
I think that sullies the vote, right? Because
And
his
those were his
numbers,
last 4 years, right?
right? If he had a 16-year career, he would have ended up with a WAR of 45 plus. He ended with a 32. So, like,
He
that's
hung on too
probably
long. Right?
that's it.
Yep.
That's it.
He's grabbing at
Yeah.
straws at the end.
Yeah. So, I mean, he played until he was 38. He actually played for Toronto. Jesus. Like, yeah, you look at it, and he's probably the only guy who played for fucking both Canadian teams.
And it's hard as a first baseman. He has 165 home runs. You just don't make it with that. And nowadays, you just don't.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's what I mean is like, but if this guy played now, I think they would be making a case saying this guy belongs. Maybe the
Or 200.
219. So I think if he gets closer to 300, but he's got a 303 batting average career.
Right.
Like
Yeah,
that placed him, his career batting average at 303 placed him, I wrote this down, 174th all time, but he had 9 seasons in the top 10 for batting average.
wow.
So yeah, exactly. So, I mean, he was a really good player, offensively he produced, I guess, but yeah, just something I came across in my little deep dives and my little shallow dives.
It's crazy, like the the way the game has changed, the evolution of it. Like he was top 10 in hitting all those years, hitting over 300. Luis Ariz might be the best hitter in baseball, and that motherfucker couldn't even get a contract
Dude,
because he doesn't hit
however,
for power. He doesn't hit for
Right.
power. You know?
Yep.
he doesn't have the right launch angle.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Fucking launch angle. Guys, I think we're at the end of our rope here. So March 5th is going to be our next show. We're going to have one more after that before we start going weekly. So I think, next week we're going to have some games in. We're going to know, where the bullpen sits. So I'm excited for that one, and hopefully we're able to watch some games. The 28th, we're doing the event here where at the garage where Matt Albertson, who is the president of SABR, is going to come in and talk about an 1884 Phillies team and specifically the catcher. So I'm real curious about seeing that or hearing that. So hopefully we're going to stream it live or put it as a podcast for us. So Matt's
awesome.
presentation will be available to everyone who's not able to attend. And I think that'll be cool. I think some of us are going to spring training. I think Steve will be down there. I'll be down there after the 5th and before our next podcast. So we'll talk about, we're meeting up at Q&I Brewing, $1 off beers there. And I'll just kind of do my normal, where to go, what to do, and what to hang out. So I appreciate you staying with us tonight. 117 might be our longest ever. I'm not sure. No, I think we did one where it was like our celebration one. I don't know what it was, a year.
It was
or 2
2 hours.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're complete.
You guys are amateurs, man. Come on over to DFF on Ice. We do an hour 45 sitting on our. It just
I humped
like
for
it
that
was
whole
nothing.
thing.
Yeah, Chris was like, it was really good, and I was like, they're still on. He goes, you got to tune in. It's really good, and I was like, it's fucking an hour and a half, and I was like, oh my god,
no commercials.
Yeah, no, that's
no fucking no breaks.
no
This wasn't
breaths, no breaks.
This wasn't like when Lincoln went to fucking Ford's Theater and they had an intermission. Like we
That
just
was
went
a
straight
problem.
through. We
Yep.
just
They
went
didn't
straight- he
drink
needed an
enough.
intermission.
They didn't drink enough because nobody had to run the piss or anything.
Oh yeah. They'll get there. They'll get there. But thanks
It's
for
all right.
everyone for joining in tonight. It'll be up tomorrow, anywhere, maybe tonight, everywhere you listen to podcasts. So thank you for joining us, and have a good rest of your night, folks.
Fuck the Mets.
Fuck the Mets.
Fuck the Mets.
Fuck the Mets.